It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and of course the subscribe button and join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. What's going on, everybody? I'm Stuttering Craig. Happy Wednesday to you. It's Hump Day, and here we are, ready to blast off all... I was going to say some really bad things. Here we are, it's Wednesday. I'm Labs.
What were you about to say? Also, happy Ash Wednesday if anyone does that, and happy Valentine's Day. Lots of big Wednesday stuff today.
It's Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Did you just hit puberty? Oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day today. I almost said a bunch of bad words.
Speaking of blasting off all over somebody's face.
You're blasting on Wednesdays, huh? On hump days?
Oh my God, here we are, we're ready to go. We're gonna have a great show today. Man, oh man. It is day 364 of year 1 of Side Scrollers. Tomorrow, it's the big day. We're just going to call it Side Scrollers Day.
Huge.
Straight up, it's Side Scroller. It's going to be huge.
Huge. Ackman.
It's going to be great. Got a great, just 12 hours of fun planned tomorrow. But we're going to worry about what we have going on today, right now, with our guest today, Rodimus Bramble.
Huge. It's huge.
Oh, that's awesome. Roddy, how are you, buddy?
What's going on, my man?
Oh, man.
It's been been a minute since I seen you live at MegaCon.
Yeah. We had Blabs. Get jelly. We met. We hugged. We shook hands, and all. It was great.
Look at it. That was my picture, right? Because that's Greg's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And next time we'll get Blabs in somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It
was great.
Yeah, aren't you also really tall, Rodimus?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically get in there somewhere. If you guys do a little group hub or whatever, I'll be on the ground because I'm so short.
More or less,
okay.
yeah. You'll be doing this, looking up at us.
Be like, hi guys.
I told you, I went in.
I can see up your nostrils.
Yep.
They're pulling the nose hairs, right?
Ew! It's been so cold. If you go outside, all your nose hair freeze. It's a very unfortunate feeling, I have to say. Has that ever happened to you guys?
It's 64 degrees here in Florida, so.
Whatever, man. I woke up, it was 9.
By the way, Resident Dr. Evil says, did Adam quit the show or something? No, as pointed out, he is, this is the dumbest thing ever. Zero Chill's correct. Adam is currently taking a language course. That is why, and he says he may or may not make the show on Wednesdays because he's learning Swedish, which makes sense because he now lives in Sweden. Mm-hmm. So good for him. And I guess that was the only time. So just happened to be
fair,
during
he
our
says
show.
it's twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. He has it.
Well, I love that. Well, we'll need to figure when he comes on. We'll get an update every single time he comes on to learn about what language he's speaking, which is and this crazy thing. Hey, Roddy, we're off to a great start, man. Because right off the bat, Sir Neof Strife came in with 10 gifted memberships. Isn't that spectacular?
Rocking and rolling, my man.
Straight up, which means someone's going on the wall, which means you get to pick. What color are we going with today?
Let's see. Let's go orange.
Orange today. All right, let's go.
No one ever picks green, and it makes me sad. Because that's what I would pick.
It was literally picked like 2 days ago.
That's
2 days ago.
That's 2 days ago.
That's 2 days ago.
Green's
Ridiculous.
great.
Hey, Sir Neof Strife, thank you so much for getting us started right off the bat with 10 gifted subs. I also met Sir Neof Strife in Florida.
Craig met everybody. It's fine.
I did. Blaz met nobody. So
I met you, so I guess you're nobody.
And didn't even realize who they were, because they don't know who I am.
They know you.
I like how Craig just called himself a nobody.
Accurate, 100% accurate. Yes. Thank you very much, Certainty Off Stripe. What a great
Yeah,
start.
yeah,
to the
there it
show.
is. Look at it. Look at it. You didn't even say it.
Look at it right there. It's great.
Too
Thank
late.
you.
You put it on the wall.
Well, everyone was talking. I just shook it a bunch. It was good. So we're going with the orange today. Thank you very much for that. Love to get going. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Our audience of 97% males. Hopefully you guys have a good Valentine's Day and all that good stuff. Quick reminder, we are live over at rumble.com/side scrollers. Hit the follow button over there and join the nearly 6,000 freedom, common sense loving mother smuckers over there. And join us, which is great. We also have an X account where you can find out who's going to be on the show. We need to probably, you know what we should do, Blabs, throughout the day? We should schedule a bunch of posts about who's going to be on tomorrow's show, because we got a litany, a giant laundry list of like 40 people who are going to be on the show, which is going to be great. So let's do that. Let's get them all scheduled throughout the day, like every hour or something. Just keep pumping them out.
Okay.
It'll be great. So follow us over on X. You can find out who's going to be on the show tomorrow. Spoiler, everybody. 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Also, we have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, and you know what? I choose violence today. Follow us or else.
Oh, boy.
Okay, violence it is.
Yes.
We also have a Kick account over at kick.com/side scrollers. Thanks very much for following us over there, closing in on 500 over there. And if you want to listen to the audio version of the show, you can find us over on Spotify. Gradually growing that little by little, boom, 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 boom. We're going to take over the freaking world. Also, you can find us over at sidescrollers.locals.com. That is our new initiative as we move into year 2, also known as sidescrollerspodcast.com. It's a vanity URL. You redirect it to the locals page. And we're going to be doing some stuff over there. That we're migrating from Patreon, because Patreon is hell for people, and we're gonna move away. But we're gonna keep it up just because people want to support there. But yeah, if you are new, speaking of hell, make sure you subscribe and join the 66,600 crazy son of a bitches who have followed us over here on YouTube. Currently sitting at an exact number of 66,689 subscribers, closing in on that 700. Let's get on that. Also,
Oh, DW just hit you with a 20.
you're goddamn right. We're going to get to D-Dub in just a second, because we got 500 likes to get to, and our goal is 25 memberships, and D-Dub said, nah, with
Me
20 gifted memberships. They're doling out. They're doling out right now. DW handing out 20 gifted memberships. Are you kidding me, D-Dub? Are you kidding me? That's a dub right there. Look at that. Look at it, D-Dub. Look at it.
Look at it.
Could send some of those my way to my channel.
That's spectacular. Man, yeah, that's great. D-Dub, thank you so much. That puts us at our goal today. That gives us 30 right off the bat. Man, what a great start. What a great start. Love that.
Here come the bros.
Look at that. Look at that. Paint the chat green, y'all. That is ridiculous. That is, I love that. Trevor came in, says, where's Travis? Is he okay? Is he coming back to Side Scrollers? Yeah, so Travis stepped away from the show. It was his decision, and he has an open invite to come back anytime he'd like to come back on the show. So that's pretty much it. We haven't seen him in several months. But yeah, Travis has an open invite to come back anytime. So there you go. So yeah, join us. I see a lot of bros in the chat, which is great. The 199 popping in. It's a pleasure to see you guys. Glad you're here. Also, I need you guys to notice something real quick. Somebody mentioned this in the pre-show. They said, I nearly missed the notification of the show because of our new branding. We've tried to give you guys a heads up. In the upper right corner of your screen, you see the Side Scrollers logo up there. That is also the new logo you see on our avatar and stuff. So please just keep that in mind. We got new branding as moving into year 2. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you it was coming. And the reason we did that was obviously we wanted something that was more us, more our own, not a Super Nintendo reference, something that makes us our own. We can put on, and it's Side Scrollers, which is great. So we talked about this before, but it has an arrow in it. It's moving from left to right. There's a lot of meaning behind the logo. Obviously, moving from left to right still is a reference to the classic Side Scrollers. The arrow represents always moving forward. So there's
arrow also looks like the meter in Super Mario 3.
Yep, it has a little bit of that to it, and look, also has a hint of a play button to it, a la YouTube and such. So, yeah, man, it's good, man. It's good. So I'm excited. So make sure you guys just get used to that. It's important. What are you typing up over there? What's going on, Roddy?
What are you doing over there, Roddy? You get into a fight?
Yeah, good
Oh,
lord.
yeah. Well, I got a good clicky keyboard, so it's I figured I would participate in the chat and not interrupt, or at least
I love
try
it.
not
I love it.
to
I love it.
Not interrupt. Pum, 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 pum.
You have like Blabs's
Yeah,
keyboard.
that's why I always have to mute myself. It's like
it's a good clicky keyboard, so
yeah.
Rainbow keyboard. Let's go.
I got a rainbow one too. It's a Razer.
Let's go. Rainbow keyboards. Love that. Love that.
Got the good old mouse that's all lit up and everything. So,
mouse technology has changed so much.
I know.
That's great.
For me, it's gotta be comfortable.
So I'll tell you what, man. Once again, tomorrow is our big day. That is our big stream. We need everybody to be here. We're going for 12 hours tomorrow. It is a giant. Why 12? I don't know. 11 to 11 sounded good. That's why. But we have a lot of stuff
Your
planned.
time.
11 a.m.
So
yes.
mine, but
yes. Yeah, 11 a.m. We're going to start the show at a normal time. We're going to end it 12 hours later. Maybe we'll go longer. Who knows? We'll see. But the idea is, when I say we, most likely me, Blabs is going to be passing out by like 4 o'clock. It'll be great.
What am I, a baby? All right, time to go to bed at 4. Why
don't you get your nap in, Blabs?
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of fun things planned. I will tell you this: tomorrow we have the big Xbox conference, their business update. We're going to be doing that live on the show. I think that's at 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon. In addition to Xbox, I will also be applying to be a PlayStation tester tomorrow live on the show for my next career of being a video game tester. And we're going to see all the DEI requirements associated with being an applicant at a low-level position at a company like Sony. So we had a lot of good things, including a guest list, including folks like Jeremy, D-Day Cobra, Gary from Nerdrotic will be joining us. Dan Vask will be joining us. Pretty much all of our friends that we met over the last year are going to be popping in some way, shape, or form. So looking forward to having everybody popping in, as well as Extra Zero will be helping out with the producer side of things. Looking forward to having Extra Zero being a part of it while Blab takes her nap, and it'll be good. So
while she munches on some pickles.
Yes.
Among other things.
Yes. Okay. Sounds good.
What are you insinuating?
I didn't say anything.
Craig, he's like, I'm done. GG's.
Dave came in as a brand new member. Let's go, Dave. Thank you very much. Love to see that. That's great. Love to see that, Dave. Really appreciate your support, and let's continue to grow. Greatly appreciate that. All right, lady and gentlemen. I think I'm ready to get into it. Real quick, Roddy, do you have anything you want to share? Any videos you got coming up? Anything you want to talk about with your channel?
Well, I mean, I got over 102,000 subscribers on my channel for Transformers. Been working on a few different characters, and I'm actually going to be working on one that kind of like a remaster of an older one that I've done for some time. And I have some merch of my own, which of course I'm wearing. One of them is my Kicking It Old School t-shirt.
Love that.
Kind of stuff like that I like to keep it focused on Transformers. Do a lot of retrospectives and and no, not Transformers, actually Robots in Disguise, Autobots versus Decepticons, with the fate of planet Earth hanging in the balance.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Thanks for the clarification on that.
Yep.
That's good. That's good. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what. Everyone go over and subscribe, obviously, to Roddy's channel. And if you guys are into the Transformers, it'll be great, and he'll be able to fill you in on everything. He's a super passionate dude, and he knows his stuff. Look at that background. Look at that.
Yep.
He knows his stuff, man.
Tons of robots. Tons and tons of robots. Not to mention Mega Man, of course, but lots of robots here, there, everywhere.
All right.
So
we need to get you.
Transformers are like Gundams.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I did invite that one in, especially considering the pickles comment. So
Blabs, now you pissed off our guest. Way to go. Congratulations. Way to go. Hey, you know what's not going to piss me off? Alex Waddington coming in with a $50 super chat saying merch with the new logo gonna be hot. Available tomorrow. Let's go, Alex! Look at it right there! Oh my god, it's gonna be a fucking great day. Oh my god, let's stinking go. Tomorrow, Alex. Tomorrow, it's gonna be great. Thank you so much with the 50. God, that's ridiculous.
Look at the chat spamming the 50. Nice.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
Welcome.
Okay, let's get on it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment,
Yeehaw.
everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Man, oh man, do we got a lot to talk about today. This is going to be kind of crazy. So first and foremost, we've established this. It is Valentine's Day. And Blab said, hey, can we talk Valentine's Day today?
That's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
Bullshit. I'm not a girly girl. First of all, I said that we should talk about all the pickup at nerdy gamer lines that you can think of for today. So chat, pickup lines. It has to be gamer friendly and pop culture nerdy stuff. So go. So basically like Idakuna, your tatas or something like that. You know, whatever.
So what is the best nerd pickup line?
Nerd pickup line.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
What would you do?
What is the best gamer pickup line?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Or neither. Or all of the above.
Usually, it'd start with something like, hi. And that's usually where it starts for me. It's not the nerdy pickup, the bad pickup line is, yeah. Well, by the way, what the hell? What is me tatas? What are you talking about?
Hakuna your tatas, like Hakuna Matata.
Okay, okay. Can we just stop for a second? Blabs.
I had Hakuna your tatas, you know?
Yeah, okay, let's talk about this. Blabs, you put out these you put these out earlier today. These are like Disney Valentine's Day cards designed for like kids.
The funniest part is those were like from 10 years ago where I posted them on Facebook and Facebook memories popped up this morning saying, look what you did. And I was like, yo,
okay.
Let's use it again.
Okay, can we just, I want to talk about these really quick. I'm just going to be really honest with you. Blabs, you're not as innocent as you appear. I'm just going to read these off. Look at Ariel's up here. And Blabs, I'm going to let you read this. So you're not. Go ahead, Blabs.
Darling, it's better than where it's wetter.
No.
To
Read
from.
Read it how it's supposed to be read.
Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Under the sea.
Okay, whatever.
That's what you just said. Read it as it's supposed to be.
I want to make you Timon.
Come on, that's funny.
I don't need to eat 5 dozen eggs to get large around you.
Come on, that's funny. How can you not think that's funny?
I'd bibbity bobbity bang you.
All right. Giggity,
Giggity.
Do you want a friend in you?
That's so bad, isn't it? Come on, why am I the only one who's giggling here besides Roddy, I should say?
Gaston's one. I don't need to eat 5 dozen eggs to get large around you.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, this is just straight up sexual assault in 2024. Can I touch your butt?
I mean, do you want a friend in you?
That's the worst one, I think.
Or down where it's wetter?
Yeah, Blabs. It's kind of, I'm just saying, like, that's pretty messed up.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good for you, Blabs. Way to go. This appears to be, like, this style appears to be, like, the meme this year.
Oh, you kidding me? It's every year. Like, the Harry Potter, like, fan pages, like, my Warner Brothers do it every year.
Okay.
Everybody does it.
It's the first time I've noticed this. This is from Universal. We've got Mutual Attractions. You're the lighthouse of our lives. By the way, Islands of Adventure, phenomenal. I would love to go back there. Haven't been there in a long time. And sliding into your DMs like, that's fine. Okay.
Have you been on the Velocicoaster yet?
Yeah.
That is like rocking.
I went on with Quarter Black Garrett, and let me tell you, he was screaming his ass off the entire time. But as soon as we get to the photo section, like in there, he just stopped screaming because like we did like a little dip, so he's just like, "Meh," and he got really bored because his facial features went down. So he looks incredibly bored in the photo that I have, but he's just screaming like a little girl the entire time.
I had tears coming out of my eyes because the way it moves is just like, you know, I didn't know what to expect.
Intense.
Yeah, it's an intense coaster, definitely.
Oh boy. Well, anyways, happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and feel free to go to Blabs' Twitter handle or X handle and see what kind of freak she is when she busts out. Listen, I'm just telling you this right now, Blabs. You go and you drop off a Valentine's Day card to anybody, and it says, "Darling, it's better down where it's wetter." You're not putting yourself in well, I mean, you are putting yourself to be in a very good position to be successful if that's what you're going for. But
no, I would never do that.
All right. Weird. Speaking of wetter and water parks, let's do a couple quick hits before we get into the big news today. Did you see this Swedish water park?
It's bananas.
Roddy, did you see this Swedish water park explode?
When you sent that to me, I was like, okay, so was it Adam's in Sweden right now? Is he okay?
Well, actually, he commented on it and he says, "Whoa," because he wasn't even
but
there.
it makes me wonder because it was an indoor water park that they were building. So I wonder who had a problem with that place to begin with. So
It kind of sounds like detonation.
Let's check this out. Boom! My God.
wow,
It does.
Ja, det är dramatiska.
That's crazy. If you look at it, it actually does look like 3 separate detonations.
Right?
That's really like one here, and one here. All 3 separate instances. That is crazy. 1, 2, and then a third one here. Wow.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, this is sus.
maybe they sent explosives down the slides.
Now we're
Be
talking.
like, be free.
Wow, that is
Like just
crazy.
see how far it can go down, and boom, boom, boom.
That is extremely suspicious now that we're looking at that. Wow. Okay, I just saw the first time. I saw the first explosion, but that's really messed up. That is crazy. Something definitely happened here. And
they said
water
12
can't. Man, no, that's right.
Yeah, saw that one.
Oh
They said 12 people were injured in this. Hopefully no one died.
Wow.
Someone's going down the slide. That just it's like
They're
speed.
sliding for dear life, avoiding everything. Ah!
Someone must have had a super wedgie growing up, going down a water slide, and said, "How dare you!"
Greta did it.
Yeah, yep.
That is crazy. Oh man. Well, anyways, sorry for Sweden to losing a water park. Nobody likes to see a water park go away, but it did in spectacular fashion. So
I think it was still under construction, so I guess it wasn't even open, or maybe it was just that one section.
Probably, because I mean, it looks like if it's an indoor water park, that's probably just like the main attraction right there. You know, is like the main slide there. Because you always get like, have you ever been in water parks?
Yeah,
like there's slides all over the place, and even the indoor one, outdoor ones. I've never been to an indoor one.
I have.
But you know, the outdoor ones are always fun.
Roddy, did you hear the brag right there? Did you hear the brag from Blabs? I've been to an indoor water
I've
park.
been to an indoor water park. It
What
was
about
cool,
you?
man.
What about
and it was
you,
really
Roddy?
funny because like there was like these 2 Asian girls in front of me and my friend, and they were wearing like matching T-shirts.
I'm sorry, Blabs. Why do they need to be Asian?
Because I'm gonna explain it. That's why they were literally wearing like these shirts that are like "I am you," and we're like, what does that even mean? But apparently it was some trendy thing like in China years ago where it's like "I am you," and we're like, what does that mean?
I'm loving that.
There's my story.
that
You're welcome.
Learning that Blabs is low key freaky.
That's right. Yep, from Worthy One today. Worthy One is figuring this out, man. I don't know what's going on.
She just lets it out little bit by little bit so that you really need to know.
Mistress Blabs is a real thing. I've convinced on
I have
that.
never stepped on
Ain't
anyone.
nothing
Thank
like
you
the
very
real
much.
thing. Blabs.
Blabs never stepped on anybody, but she likes to be stepped on. It's really kind of messed up.
Why? That sounds painful. It sounds like I'll break bones. I'm actually tiny.
Mo is right. Says YouTube stopped saving streams after 12 hours. Craig. That's right. That's why we're gonna stop promptly at 12 hours tomorrow, which would be great. So
Blaster was favorite Autobot. Yeah, and I got Bumblebee on there too. It's from the episode Quest for Survival, where Blaster was actually riding on top of Bumblebee, and they were using the music that Blaster was playing to stop an alien race. So yeah, fun times.
All right. Now we
And Blabs just literally had a moment that we'll get to later in the show.
Yes, there you go.
You had to.
Hey, dude came in and says, talking to girls is easy. You just walk up to them and press the A button. There you go, dude. Spoken like a history game. Blake came in with the 2, says, did you hear that Jeffrey asked Hillary to be his Valentine? Unfortunately, she left him hanging.
Oh!
Oh man, that's
He
horrible.
hasn't said anything in a while, has he?
I literally asked my wife like what want to give me like one for the show, and the first thing that she came up with was the old pickup line of did an angel fall from heaven because did you fall from heaven because you must be an angel?
Mm-hmm.
And
What are
she
you,
goes,
Anakin?
you just call me Satan.
Satan.
Well, Craig, what's your pickup line? But it has to be game or nerdy.
Okay. It's been, I don't know, a long time since I've
84
actually.
years.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I used to have some pretty good ones back in the day, but they were all meant to be just like make your friends laugh. Let's see. Oh, God.
I really love the Apex ones.
While you're
or,
coming
like,
up with that.
Destiny, Call of Duty ones. Those are funny.
While you're coming up with that, I got one. Will you be the select to my BA, up, down, BA, left, right? No. Will you be the select to my BA, up, down, left, right, BA, BA?
That's a code.
That's the Konami code, right?
Yes.
There.
Yeah. I was thinking the Ninja Turtles was the stage select plus 9 lives was BA, up, down, BA, left, right, BA. Start was Turtles 2, the arcade game, which was a Konami game. And then, of course, you had the Contra code, which is up, down, left, right, BA.
Oh, jeez. Crazy T in the chat's like, you got a friend in me.
And she says he's just a friend. And
Yeah.
she says he's just a friend.
Hey, I got one for you, Roddy. If you were a Transformer, you'd be Optimus Fine. Let's go.
Lame.
Or the Be My Valentine with a picture of Bumblebee.
Oh my God, I don't even. It's been so long. I don't even know where to start. Shaky Hands Ghost came and says, "Hey baby, are you a tutorial NPC? Because I want you to tell me what to do. Let's go, Shaky Hands Ghost. Are you a tutorial NPC? Like you got to be doing that at like a convention because you walk up to a girl at a bar and you say, "Are you a tutorial NPC?" She'd be like, "What the hell you just called me?" What? It's a very
I had one of
nerdy
the
thing.
worst pickup lines at a bar once. This guy, who I had actually met the day before, he was just too drunk to remember that he already met me. And he comes up to the bar where I'm ordering my drink, and he's like, "Hey, do you know how much a polar bear weighs?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Enough to break the ice. Hi, I'm Steven." I'm like, "We already met." And then I walked away.
Damn. I have a bad recollection of when I met people. That's just something that, I don't know, I've never been good at. I don't remember the first time I met people. And sometimes I just forget that I've like hung out with people in the past. So like, and it's so funny because like Ryan from Geeks and Gamers, I met him before, but like I just, we didn't really like hang out. I think I've actually met him twice. Whenever it was MegaCon, we were out there, I was like, "Hey man, good to see you." And I gave him a hug. I was like, "I'm so glad we get a chance to hang out." He's like, "Yeah, we've hung out like twice before." And I was like, felt like such an asshole because I just totally forgot. But that's just kind of how it is with me. So if I ever do that with you guys, please understand. It's like I may see Blabs and be like, "Hey Blabs, it's good to see you for the first time."
We've already met. It's fine.
We've done a show for the last year together. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh man, look at this. A hundy.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. Absolutely, absolutely. We got a lot going on, man. Here's some more from Aiden. It says, "Are you 2B from near Autonoma? Because you're very too beautiful." Aiden, that's too nerdy even for me, man. I don't understand.
I like that. That's cute.
And Rebound was asking about your shirt. Thank you so much, Rebound. Greatly appreciate that. And Epsilon came in and says, my favorite gaming pickup line has to be, baby, need a joystick? I can lend you mine. All kidding aside, happy Valentine's
All
Day.
right.
Giggity, giggity.
Giggity. That's right. Super Sentai guy says the NES TMNT 3 is Contra Code in reverse. That's right. St. G says, is that a phaser? Because I'm stunned. Let's go. And Sir Neof Strife came in with a $100
Wow.
super chat. Read it off.
Oh, no, I read this. Okay, Mistress Blobs, we're on to you. First it was the feet pics, then being violent or nice to chat, and those Valentine's cards. What next kink you into? Also, you can say that indoor water park got really wet and had an explosive climax. All right, I'll see myself out.
Look at that. Man, you got him giggling. You got him giggling. You got him giggling.
That's terrible.
Roddy can't contain himself. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Sturdy Up Stripe, thank you very much. Look at Roddy go, man. You got him right there. There we go. Oh, my God. Thank you very much, Sturdy Up Strife. No song, Blast.
Neon
No,
stripe,
that's fine.
indeed.
Oh, my God. Hal came in and says, do you raise chicken? Because you sure raise cocks. Oh, God. That's fucked up. It's pretty amazing. Golly. Blake says, I'm an Emmy for Metroid Dread, EMMI. Want me to penetrate you? Oh, Blake. That's really a
Listen.
deep cut.
I have some great Call of Duty pickup lines. Are you a care package because you must have fallen from heaven? That's one. Are you up for a little tactical insertion?
Oh.
And then I'd catch a grenade for you. It's okay, I've got Flat Jacket Pro.
That is.
How
Those
many
are some
COD
deep,
points does it take to unlock you?
those are some deep cuts right there. Deep cuts right there. That's good. Oh, that's funny. And Colt came in and says, call me Laura Croft because I'm about to raid your womb. Oh, my God. Or you must be Mario because you're gonna down my pipe. God, wow. These are... Holy moly.
Oh, man. The next one.
Oh, my God. MC Hawk says, hey, princess, let me rub my mushroom on your peach fuzz. All right. 2, you like Donkey Kong because I'm maybe hung like a donkey. Okay. 3, come back to my place and play Tetris and stack up on top of each other. All right, MC Hawk, thank you very much for that.
I got one more from Destiny. Are those pants purple? Because that booty's legendary. Come on, that's good.
Hey, Mindy Boy came in, loves the content, came in as a brand new member. Thank you so much, Mindy Boy. Appreciate that. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to read this as is, and I'm just going to read this verbatim because this is pretty fucked up. But I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it with crazy voice so nobody takes this and clips it. I'm going to hell for this. Came in with a $10 direct donation. The worst I've heard.
Oh, God.
Is your name Sandy Hook? Because I don't want to shoot a bunch of kids inside you.
Bye, everybody. Time to go. Fatality.
Oh, that's pretty messed up. And there we are.
That's fucked. That's terrible.
And we're done for the day. And it's true, you are gonna go to hell for that.
Yeah. Damn.
Kratos El Gratos.
At least we started the show fun.
Yeah, this is so fun. So fun. came in with a $100 direct donation. Says, hello, Blabs. Because you want to get everyone in Valentine's Day spirit, can we get All You Need Is Love by the Beatles in an Asian accent?
Ah, shit.
No.
Best nerdy pickup
I
line.
need to get X-Ray Girl on this one.
Are you a Jedi Master? Because yo delicious. Worst
That's
one.
funny.
I don't like sand. Thank you, Kratos. Greatly appreciate that. Let's get Blab singing. And yeah, that's a great one. Remember, with an Asian accent, stereotypical Asian accent. Thank you so much,
It's
Kratos.
like the same line over and over and over again.
Well, that's the idea. So we're gonna do it. It'll be great. It'll be awesome.
I think you guys should sing with me. You can be like you guys can be like the background guys. You know, the ones in the parentheses.
Yeah, it sounds good. We'll definitely do that. It'll be great. We haven't even got into some news today. It's ridiculous. Suffer So Brown says, damn, no notification. What did I miss? Happy Valentine's Day. Que hermosa de vas
You
Blabs.
missed our crazy Valentine's antics, all created by the wonderful, down where it's wetter, Blabs.
Yes. Blabs is sick monkey mind over here.
You're welcome.
By the way, make sure you guys. It's about the notification. This is not the first time we've seen this today. So there is a distinct possibility that we like. I was going to tweet about this yesterday. Literally every single show that we do gets demonetized. Every single show. It is like clockwork. We finish the show, it gets demonetized. Then we have to send in for a manual review. So there is a distinct possibility that YouTube may be throttling us. I have nothing to back that up outside of the giant yellow dollar sign that we see after every show. But based off of people saying they're not getting notifications, it may be worth, if you want definitely a notification every single day, you can do it over on Rumble or you can do it over on the Locals page. Locals sends out notifications for every single live stream. So make sure you guys go over there, sign up, follow us over there. It takes about 30 seconds to sign up over on Locals, and it's sidestrollers.locals.com or sidestrollerspodcast.com. It takes you to the same spot. So once again, for notifications. But thank you so much, Suffer So Proud. Trevor came in and says, stuttering Craig, more like stud-during Craig. Let's go! Love to see that. Shut up. And Vox, that gifting maniac, came in and says, you can call me Soldier 76 because I've got you in my sights. Let's go. Love to see that. That's a nice little reference right there. That's great. All right, Blabs, you ready to do a little bit of singing?
Okay.
Okay.
So Asian
Ladies
accent, that's R to L's and L's to R's, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God.
Ladies
there's
and
a lot of
gentlemen,
L's in
I'd like to introduce you to Blabs. She is singing "All You Need Is Love" in an Asian accent, brought to you by Kratos El Gretos.
this. Okay. All you need is love. All together now. What is this? All you need is love.
Dun, 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 dun.
All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Just lost it. I went to
Don't. Why did you go into your
I don't
stupid?
know.
Stop it. It's ridiculous. Kratos, thank you so much.
I panicked.
You did. You panicked. It's big time. Blake came in with the 2 over on Rumble, says, let's play Mortal Kombat at my place so I can finish you. All right. Okay. Enough of that. Let's move on to our next story here. Another quick hit before we get into the big stuff today. They announced the casting for Fantastic Four on Valentine's Day. This is the new movie coming out, and people were not very happy. Blabs, you wanted to talk about this for a second? This is the Pedro Pascal.
They've been rumored to be the confirmed casting for a couple months now, but today, for Valentine's Day, Marvel Studios posted this tweet saying, Happy Valentine's Day! And here are the confirmed cast members of the first family. So you have Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss, Backrack, I'm assuming, and Joseph Quinn. Now, if you don't know, Joseph Quinn was Eddie in Stranger Things in the last season, so that's cool.
Okay.
Vanessa Kirby, I like. She got really famous when she was in The Crown as Margaret in the first 2 seasons. But Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards is a big fat no-no from me. I'm just saying.
I have a question.
Dr. Craig.
Has there been a good Fantastic Four movie? I feel like they've tried to reboot it 2 or
They
3
did
times.
it.
Like since the 2000s, they tried to bring it out in the early 2000s, and it wasn't very good. And then they tried to do it again in like 2010, and then they tried to do it. I feel like they've tried to do
Well, there
Fantastic
was
Four several
two
times.
Fantastic Four movies in the early 2000s, which I didn't think were that bad in
They
comparison.
weren't
I mean, we had Chris
awful.
Evans. Yeah,
They were just.
they were
eh.
meh. Chris Evans was the Human Torch, which was kind of funny because then he became Captain America. But then they rebooted it, like 2016, I think?
Yeah, with the
And the siblings were like different races, so that was weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens. It's coming out in 2025, July 25th, 2025. 7/25/25, Fantastic Four. If anybody is interested in going to see that. The chat overwhelmingly
if they just
said
go
no.
lighthearted and just make it a fun superhero flick, I'm sure it'll do well. But we're talking about the MCU. We are talking about the corporate rat. We are talking about modern day Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm surprised there's no like black casting in the top 4.
they can
Surprisingly.
make other cast members. I'm sure.
Probably.
You're
Yeah.
probably going to see that. Whatever. But it'll probably be all about the Invisible Woman and how great she is.
Maybe she'll be bisexual, so she'll still marry Reed Richards, but she'll also be into the women.
The thing is that she has to be like related to Kang the Conqueror. To my understanding, isn't Kang the Conqueror a relative to
I don't know.
the Fantastic Four? So them trying to introduce Kang the Conqueror.
But they race swapped him, so okay.
Well, that would be like down the line anyway. So whatever they decided to do.
So I went in and for our next story here, I went in and there's a report going around that the Deadpool 3 trailer broke global records following its release, scoring 365 million views in 24 hours. I'm curious where I'm seeing that, because I'm looking at this on YouTube and I don't see that at all. I don't see any of the millions and millions of trailers. I'm guessing this is on YouTube or on X maybe, perhaps, because
I think that maybe they're also including the Super Bowl views, which would
people who
include
watched it live.
Right. So like the people who watched it when it happened, and then on top of that, the people who watched it on YouTube or downloading it, whatever other websites that are out there that have it on there.
I feel like that's cheating, right? Like the idea of going in and being like, yeah, we're adding the Super Bowl views on top of the, it's starting with 120 million. It's a 120 million view head start,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you can do
like-
that with all the other trailers that were premiered too.
Yep.
Right. And so I guess technically Kanye West commercial was the most viewed YouTube video of all time in the span of 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you got 120 million views in 30 seconds. I don't know. I feel like that's cheating. That's pumping them rookie numbers up. I don't agree with that. That's dumb as shit. All right. Well, whatever.
The trailer looks fun, and it wasn't the movie like in production before Disney
Strike?
bought 20th Century Fox.
Oh. I don't know
no,
about that.
I don't think that's the case. I think
No?
that Deadpool 3, I think, started production maybe a year and a half ago or so. Because that was
Okay.
the thing. They were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was like, I feel like we were talking about it on the show, so it couldn't have been that long ago.
I'm not sure.
But-
I think because that was the thing. Like everyone's like wondering like where does the crossover lie in with that, and what changes were made? Because then again, the movie was filmed during the strike, so they were allowed to, they weren't allowed to change the script at all.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Is interesting.
I don't know. Well, people are excited about it, to say the least. It does look like it's pretty silly and fun, which is kind of what you expect from Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go to our next story, and this is just kind of a personal thing for me. I don't know. I'm very intrigued to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Now, this is kind of like YouTuber drama bullshit, but I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on this. Do you guys know the channel Did You Know Gaming? Rod, did you know Gaming, right? Labs, you probably don't watch Did You Know Gaming, no? They've been around for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah, long time. They got their start probably I don't know, early 2010s. I remember doing some stuff with them on, well, I've met them at like E3s and stuff. But they do some like interesting videos, and they've been around for a long time, like I said. So there was a news story yesterday from Kotaku that talked about these lost F-Zero games that are recreated by a fan are now playable, right? And it's a story on Kotaku. This guy writes about it, which is, you see a YouTube video and people will write about it. Just like we'll see something and we'll talk about it, right? We provide our commentary about it. Well, Did You Know Gaming comes out and it's like, congrats to Kotaku for taking our story and the exclusively obtained information from our video without any acknowledgement to Did You Know Gaming or linking in our video. We broke the story and worked with the team that made the mod to produce the video. So they were really proud of this, and Kotaku didn't like provide any coverage of it. They didn't say this is from Did You Know Gaming. Yeah, which really goes back to like accreditation, right? Of how, of a story when it comes to this stuff. And they went in and they reached out to them, and then they revised it and they put in these like little, little things. Okay, we regret the error, blah, 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 right? Sure you do. And Did You Know Gaming did this, blah, 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 blah. What was interesting about this, and like I said, this has 1 million views over on X. What's interesting about this is that Did You Know Gaming, they're not necessarily known for being the best about reaching out to people and accrediting. I mean, accrediting their stuff, because they got pushback from this guy named Gigaboots, and Gigaboots was like, "Hey, here's the thing. They used my footage back in the day, and they never asked me about it in one of their videos. But they credited him in the video. They just put like a text in the bottom right corner of it, right, and just said this footage is from Gigaboots. And they had this like big back and forth yesterday between Gigaboots and Did You Know Gaming. So, and this is a question I think for the chat. And Roddy, you don't use a whole lot of like gameplay in your footage and stuff. And
no, it's usually from Transformers episodes and stuff like that. So
right,
but I mean, if it depends upon what I'm reviewing. So
let me ask, and this is a question for the chat, because I will say this: back in the Screw Attack days, we did a horrible job of crediting people. We just were like, it's on the internet, we can just use it, right? And we would do that. And I would say probably around this time, the 2010s, maybe 2010s, 2011, probably when Did You Know Gaming, we started doing a better job of accrediting people. But the question for the chat: when you upload a video to YouTube, specifically gameplay footage, this is somebody else's property, right? This is Capcom's game, right? It's their footage, but you have then gone in and played it. Is it fair use for somebody, or is it fair game? Maybe that's a better use of phrasing, for somebody to be able to take that footage and use it in their video. Roddy, what are your thoughts on that?
I think if I was to take someone else's footage specifically that's not my own, and I know it's not my own, like I have other Transformers YouTubers, who I'm friends with, and I've used some of their footage when I don't necessarily have the figure in front of me to be able to talk about that character. And so I'll credit them, but I'll always ask, hey, do you mind if I use like 5 seconds or 10 seconds of your video? But in reality, it is fair use. So there is a fine line, to use it for. And, so there does need to be some, accreditation, like, hey, this, this footage here was provided by, and I know that like on TV, they do that. Like I had gotten a lot of, information, because I was on the Toys That Built America on the History Channel, and they used some of the footage stuff that I had, and I provided it to them, so they credited me. So, but I think that it's courtesy to ask if you're using it, and if you can't get a response, then just put their name like in the video that you're using their game footage, especially if it's game footage. Like if it's not your own game footage. Okay. Like, that's kind of how I view it. So
let me take it a step further.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the Did You Know Gaming video, right? You see reactionary stuff. Like if we were to sit here and watch this entire video, and I didn't say, hey, this is Did You Know Gaming, but Did You Know Gaming stuff is down here in the corner.
Right.
Is that technically attributing it to them? Because we're saying we're watching Did You Know Gaming's video. You can see the title down here. Is that good enough?
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah,
You know?
their names are mentioned right there.
But let's say I don't mention. I don't like this. This may be too inside baseball for like a lot of people viewing, but this is something that I saw and I was like, that's kind of interesting. It's an interesting topic that I, as a YouTube guy, I think that's pretty fascinating stuff. But I don't know.
I feel like it's very subjective and it depends on the context. Let's say you have a video of gameplay up and your face is actually featured on it, and someone goes and takes your video without crediting you, and you're still there, right? You're still featured. I think that's probably where the line is drawn. However, if it's just gameplay footage and nobody else, your face isn't shown, and anyone and their mother can.
It's not transformative. That's what it is.
Everyone and
Not
their mother can
transformative,
recreate that moment, that gameplay, right? You just do the same thing, whatever. I don't think it really needs crediting. You're muted, Craig.
Yeah. Oh,
Did you know
he's
still
muted.
I said, well, what if you can't recreate that footage? What if it's something that is really hard to accomplish?
Like I said, it's subjective in context. I don't think it really there's not one answer for everything. I think it depends on every situation.
You mean that there's shades of gray in life?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 of them, huh? That's good. It's almost like there's a spectrum of color.
Captainisms.
Review Wings USA says, so I heard you guys got a 12-hour marathon tomorrow. Is my favorite cucumber local invited? Everyone's invited. It's just a matter if they receive the invite. I will say this. Boogie will be joining us. Boogie said he'll be popping on with us tomorrow at some point, so that should be interesting. Mo came in and says, I don't have a nerdy pickup line, but my old standard is, hey, can you tell me if this rag smells like chloroform? No, that's really fucked up.
That's
So wrong.
The old man Cummins says the best Fantastic Four movie was The Incredibles.
That is true. That is true.
And Suffer So Proud coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Suffer So Proud. Make sure you say thank you if you got gifted membership. Really genuinely appreciate that. That is awesome. Man, that's a great start. We're currently sitting at 37 members for the day. Let's keep on growing, man. Kevin says game is game. Well, oh my God. Dude Kate says, depends on the context. As someone who's reviewing the game, I expect the gameplay to be theirs to prove they played the game. But any gameplay pulled from others should be credited to the OG player. Like I said, just an interesting conversation.
I think it's just a matter of respect. Just saying, hey, this person's original footage. And you can just put it in, the description or, a text at the bottom of the screen. I don't feel like you don't necessarily have to say out loud the name. You can just put a little text
as long as you're
somewhere.
acknowledging that the footage is not your own, I think it's fair, because then the other case is that if you're reacting to their video, you see a lot of reaction channels, they'll watch someone else's video and it'll be them in the corner, and then the actual video is around and then they're watching it. I think there's a difference between those two. So
it's something that I said there's so much gray, and using people's footage is actually if people want to use our footage from our show, go ahead. The more you talk about us, the better. Shad reached out and he's like, hey, can I upload some of the AI panel to my AI channel? I was like, yes, absolutely, because the more people see side scrollers, the better. I have no problem with that. So yeah, let's move on to our next story. Blabs is going to take it from here because guess what? I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen then. Okay, so I know Roddy has a bit of a different opinion on this. So we're gonna talk about the localizers. So let's just go with the context first. So this is from Games Nosh, and it says, absolutely hilarious that a lefty localizer self-outed themselves as absolutely despising the author and work they were in charge of adapting. And in response, all the rest of his peers care about is damage control and not letting the chuds get a win. So the lovely complex dub writer, we made it good, this show sucked. So then there was a response. And let me grab it from Disbrew because he said something very interesting. Okay. So it says, let me zoom in for you a little bit so you guys can read it in the chat. I can't really, that's about it. We are aware of the comments made by a contractor that worked on Lovely Complex. The English version was made with the supervision and approval of the show's original producers. Dubs commonly punch up comedy and smooth over rough patches so that the end product aligns with the show's intended audience and provokes the intended response. There will always be shades of gray, when adapting a work. Anyone expecting exact fealty to the Japanese dialogue should be watching the subtitles, which Discotheque has, is it Discotheque? I think so, has already presenting with a little alteration as is possible when translating from a very different language. We are deeply disappointed at this individual's lack of professional discretion. It will not be working with him in the future. We will continue to work on future projects with an eye towards satisfying as many fans as possible. Thank you for your continued support. And I think Disbrew nailed this on the head, where he says the first half was about how it's fine to destroy the original work and fix it with your own biased false translations for a modern audience. But if you tell people that what's you doing, well, now you're fired. You can't be a scum, just don't let the audience know we ruined it. Which is kind of true. They let this slide for a bit. So, Roddy, what's your thoughts?
Well, I've said this before, obviously, and I'll say it again, is I personally believe there is a major difference between a translation, a localization, and a rewrite. And those are three different, distinct, different things. Like, if it's a direct translation, it's like 1-for-1 with the words, and there's no real deviation from it, even when you're trying to make it understandable. Like, it's so dry that it doesn't really work. Localization is where you take the translation and you say, how can I make this convey the original intent of the work and make it more understandable for the target audience? In the case of Japanese into English, it's kind of difficult because some phrases, some words, some idioms don't necessarily make sense. So if you can get an idiom that works in English, that works better than it did in Japanese in English, then it would make more sense. But a rewrite is when you say, hey, something, the original sucked, so we're going to completely change the dialogue where it no longer works the same way that it did. And that's where they're taking phrases out of context and they're changing a character completely. And I don't necessarily think that works. Now, localization has been around for how long? We've seen, it's as old as translations of the Bible, but then we're just going to keep this focused on video games. Like, back in the day, Nintendo of America had censorship policies, and they would translate the game, and you pretty much would have a Japanese native speaker who had a good understanding of English would localize a game in English, and you'd get this really bad English, as we would call it. But then they would get these other translators. One of the most famous is Ted Woolsey, and he translated games like Secret of Mana and Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, and fantastic games we all love. But they had to take the, he had to try and make the English text fit on the Super Nintendo ROM. Well, we don't have that problem when you're dealing with, modern games. But then when it comes to anime, it's a matter of getting the mouth flaps to work. So you have to make sure the dialogue is the same, yet matches the mouth flapping.
Right.
And so there is that issue. But the thing is that, what we're having a major problem with right now is that you have people who are literally rewriting the text. Mm-hmm. And that is the major issue. They are taking the text completely and saying, this text does not work in today's society. We must change it. And that's the problem, because that's literally rewriting the story.
I don't even know how that's legal. Like,
what?
That's taking someone's information, like in their IPs and trademarks, copyrights, and now you're just reworking it.
Blabs, where are we at on this story?
Oh, so we read the entire thing, and we read Disbrew's point and the response.
The guy, the Justin Savakis guy, you read that? Mm-hmm. The idea
Yeah.
that they're like, yeah, we're aware of it.
Yeah, so basically the Japanese company let them wokeify it. They were just mad he opened his fat mouth about it, which is true. They were like, yeah, sure, you can totally do this. Unless they're completely schmucks and they don't they don't pay attention to what these people are doing for their work, which is just mind-boggling because they should be protecting their IPs. But I don't know. Bananas, in my opinion.
This is one of these things where like people are. I don't understand what's so difficult about doing your best to translate it, and like because I think you kind of touched on this, Roddy. The idea behind a translation versus a localization, right?
Versus a rewrite being the third thing that what we're seeing right now is total rewrites. They're not localizing, they're rewriting. And I think we have to like look at that from that perspective. Everyone's calling it localizing because people see it that's what they're doing, but that's not what localization is. And yeah, it's not right to do that. So where you're taking like a translation should try to still convey the original meaning behind the text, especially, and as I was saying before, is like the text, if an idiom in Japanese makes no sense to an English speaker, is there an idiom that works in English that will work for an English audience? Those are the kind of things that like you have to take into consideration when you're localizing. But a translation, is just like word for word, like one-to-one. But rewriting is when you're taking, hey, this story does like, we don't like the fact that this character is being hit on by, like this girl is being hit on by this guy. So we're going to change the girl's response to, instead of being something nice, is to be something like, oh, I don't know, like I can't even think of some of the crappy stuff that they say. And that's where you're rewriting the game. So
I think the problem here is that these companies are allowing whoever they want to go and write these translations and localizations, and yet these people are white knighting, thinking, I'm better, I'm gonna fix this. This is something I can fix, and they're basically like self-inserting
it's
themselves
the same thing
as like the
I
heroes.
fixed your art.
Yeah, they're just trying to make themselves heroes and be like, I can fix this, I can solve crime and social issues just like this. And it's like, no. Stop.
So the company that was in charge of this dub, right? They released this statement as well, and I want to put this out here because people are really, this has been a common thing over the last month or so. At least it's been on our radar for about a month, right? But it's been going on considerably longer from what I understand. This is from Sound Cadence Studios, the people who did the dub. Says, we've been made aware of the unofficial and unsanctioned statements made by a contractor in regards to our lovely complex dub project and wanted to address the post in question. Firstly, no contractor speaks for the Sound Cadence Studios team. All contractors are assembled and retained on a per project basis. Secondly, regardless of any one contractor's personal feelings about a project, all productions created at Sound Cadence Studios go through many layers of supervision. In this case, while this individual did help create scripts for Lovely Complex, those scripts then went through a head writer, 2 supervisors, the end client at Discotech, as well as the Japanese licensor, and those scripts were then vetted and approved by all those parties before being recorded. In no situation would we allow a product that didn't honor the original work to come to market. We thank the fans who allegedly supported the release and are delighted by the positive reviews for those who have seen the English language version. And some people, obviously they're getting kind of hit here back and forth, the idea of it being like a
Yui laughing.
right, a poor response.
Yeah, they're kind of just like trying to throw everyone else under the bus, saying, nah, this was approved, we're fine here. Everyone went through this, like the stuff. They went through multiple layers. Interesting.
So the guy who you read, that Jason guy, it is worth knowing, he is what we affectionately know on. He is a PIB. He has pronouns in bio. Here we go, ready to rock. So just a heads up, So take that for what it is. And it has been established that it's not a good look. Not a good look, man. But these are the people that are running your industry. If you're a fan of anime, like I said, I'm not an anime guy, but these are the people who are on top of your industry making these decisions, and they will point the finger at anybody but you, anybody but them. I say they'd rather point the finger at you than at themselves. You know, what's the old saying? When you point a finger there's always 4 pointing back at you, or at least 3. You know, so. Anyways, there's that.
That's why you're going to probably see a lot more fan dubs, made. Like a lot of fans are going to come back and release a dub fan subs that have better translations than the original. The only thing is like some of the old fan subs that used to come out that used to have the honorifics added to Japanese at the end, like it'll be like Hero-chan or something like that. Like, and it's like, you don't need to add that honorific. It's, those old horrible subs that we used to get back in the day. But, even so, like, as I was talking about before about like the difference between localization and translation, like I'll give a great example. One of the most famous lines in Final Fantasy VI was "Son of a Submariner, they'll pay for this." Now, in context, it's because he's saying "son of a submariner" because Figaro Castle is sinking into the sand. And so it's submerging. So he's saying submariner. But the original language was he used the word kuso, which in Japanese is an expletive. And, so they basically made it a swear without being a swear, and yet at the same time said, "Son of a submariner," and so it's actually a very famous line, but it's just him, exclaiming something. They'll pay for this. Whereas if they decided to rewrite that line, it would be "you capitalist dog" or something,
Right.
Then it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you put that in there?
Right. Well, like I said, it's interesting. It's an ongoing battle in the anime space. It will be pretty much forever. And as technology has become better, AI has become better, the ability to read other languages has become better. It's something that is going to be an ongoing discussion for sure. Now let's move on to our next story, our lead story. Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Now I'll be gay. There was I thought I'd point this out. This is 2 headlines of the same story. This is from IGN first and foremost. It says nonprofit LGBTQ advocacy group GLAAD has released its first ever report on LGBTQ inclusion in video games, revealing that 17% of gamers are LGBTQ. Okay. By the way, not very inclusive in this sliding because they left out the plus. Just like to point that out. Not very inclusive at all. And same article, same story. This is from Kotaku. New reports suggest the game industry is failing LGBTQ players. Right. So same article, 2 very different approaches to this. Which obviously need to be very transparent. But let's actually talk about this. Let's go to the IGN article, as it says 17% of gamers are LGBTQ, up from 10% in 2020. So in the last, yes, Blabs.
How many of these votes are actually accurate, where they're actually gay and not trying to just align for like virtue signaling?
These are great questions. I don't know. These are wonderful questions to ask. So much so that I've actually reached out to GLAAD about this survey that they put together. But this is interesting. So in the last 4 years, LGBTQ has gone up 7%, right? And this is obviously a very biased survey, right? It goes back to, and the questions I asked to them were, who did you survey? What were these specific questions? Were they done in person? You know, like these are important. There's a lot of context when it comes to these surveys. I've talked about data many times when it comes to these surveys. You can get whatever data you want from however you ask questions. And let's go ahead and read some of this, just to kind of get a little more detail here. The report in the first of its kind from GLAAD and was done in partnership with Nielsen Games. The data was collected from a survey of 1,452 active PC and console gamers in the United States between July and August of 2023. So that's even less time. So that's like in about 40 months, like 3.5 years, went from 10% to 17%, right? And that may be because we're adding letters to, to all this and all that fun stuff. But per the report, 70% of gamers are LGBTQ, up from 10% from 2020.
Look at that one sentence right there. With a boosted sample. First paragraph up in there. With a boosted sample.
What the hell is a boosted sample of gay people? Did
Right.
you more
Meaning
gays?
they probably went into an area in which more,
So they went to like LA or something.
or San
Found them all.
Francisco, or
Yeah.
So the survey says there's a lot of stuff in here, obviously, but it says
BuzzFeed words.
the survey found that the Switch eShop has the lowest percentage of games with LGBTQ characters or storylines. Microsoft has 146 games available on the Xbox store with LGBTQ content at the time of the survey. PlayStation had 90, Nintendo had 50. So this was interesting. Steam had 2,302 LGBTQ games in English, but that number dropped to 1,506 when adult-only sexual content tag was filtered out. So 35% of the games, once you took out the adult-only sexual content tag, were removed. 35% of them. What the fuck? That's insane. That is insane to me, and says a lot. If I'm being totally honest, that's crazy. My biggest question here is when you're dealing. It says 17% of gamers are LGBTQ. That says 83% are not.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you just disregarding? Like you're trying to be super inclusive. Awesome. Great. But 83% to 17% is not even close. Not even like remotely close. Like our demographic here on the channel, right? Sorry, ladies, right? Let's just say we had 17% of our audience was women. This show would not be suited for women. Like dudes watch our show. We get it, right? We're not going to go bend over backwards to make our show built for a female audience because we see the data attached to this. I don't understand. And as Just Jim says, 17% of a sample size of 1,500 gamers in California. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. That's what I was saying, the boosted thing. Because it's where are they pulling the numbers from? And on top of that, I mean, yeah, sure. There are plenty of people who play video games out there who are part of the alphabet community. Fine. Like they're welcome to play video games as much as any of us are, right? There's no problem with them playing video games. A lot of them love to play video games. Are they going to complain because Tetris is just about blocks falling and doing whatever? Or racing games are just about racing and Mario is just about jumping on Goombas? Like,
there'll be an innuendo soon. They'll make one up.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, I mean, what in Japan isn't Birdo?
Right.
So there, it's like games are just going to be what they are. They're going to be making video games for everybody. You make games for general audiences, and it doesn't matter. I think what was the old saying? What was the thing from the Michael Jordan movie where they were talking about the Air Jordans? Well, lots of people wear sneakers. Everybody wears sneakers.
Right.
Right. Everybody, like, a lot of people like to play video games.
Right.
They come from all different types of communities. So,
and like to be clear, nobody cares if you're gay. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, nobody cares. Like, fucking A, I don't care. Like, what we care about is we just feel like there's a, like,
An
let's get
agenda.
17%. Let's just say 17% of people like, I don't know, like the color yellow, right? So do we need to make more, do we need to have more yellow in video games because 17% of the audience enjoys the color yellow? Like, it's a hard metaphor to describe, but when it just seems like it's way more than 17% of the agenda being pushed, right?
You're right.
Which is,
And they're not even like making games for the target audience anymore. They're not making games for the 80-something% anymore. And if you pay attention, indie games are on the rise because they're not doing all this shit. They're not putting all these agendas and little narratives. They just want a simple, fun game to play. And so now all these AAA games, and I'm sorry, quadruple A, because now we have that too. These games are not really on the rise anymore. People are like, all you're doing is putting agendas. I just want to play a game and escape and like have fun. I don't care if my main character is a lesbian black deaf woman who doesn't like Miles Morales. Like, you know, make games for the target audience and you will be very successful and efficient and you'll make a shit ton of money. It's that simple.
okay. So
And it
here's
doesn't
the thing,
make the
though.
games better because are the games playable? Is it fun? Is the action fun? Is the story, if it's a story-based game, is the story good? If it's a, if it's an RPG, is the RPG elements, good and intuitive and exciting and what have you? Does it make the gameplay itself? Because when we're playing video games because we want to play the gameplay.
Right.
The other stuff they add into it all has to do with the storyline. And what they want is they want it into every single storyline. If they're saying, well, 17% based upon our survey, then they're saying 17% of all games should be. But think about this is like not every game needs to have even the adult content. I mean, you think about this. What was it? Dead or Alive fighting game is mostly just a fighting game that a bunch of people like to play, but there is a audience that really likes that particular game, game franchise. So the spinoff was clearly aimed at a specific demographic. And not everybody bought that game. Not everybody played Dead or Alive Extreme, but other people would still play the Dead or Alive series without the Extreme series. So if they make games like this, then go ahead, let them make a game for it and see if it sells. Oh, it doesn't. No one's buying it. Well, then why? Why is it that nobody's buying it? Is the gameplay terrible? Is the storyline terrible? Or is it a lot of people really don't want to see that stuff in their game? That's where they can really put their money to their mouth. So,
what's interesting is we've heard that Sweet Baby Inc. They're the company who's putting a lot of this the DEI stuff into video games, and they've said many times this. We've talked about them saying in particular there's a myth of this core gamer. This core gamer is like a myth, and the idea that it's like traditionally a white dude, right? They say that's a myth. No, the data literally backs it up, right?
Yeah.
These are generally the people who are buying these games are just regular people that don't care about this stuff, right?
Yep.
So why do we need to feel the need to put all this stuff in? I'm digging into this a little bit more as we're talking here, and this is from the glad.org website. It says the scale of and growth of the LGBTQ gamer is significant. Notably, the percentage of LGBTQ gamers is even higher amongst younger age groups, with 23 to 28% of gamers under 35 identifying as LGBTQ. The percentage of LGBTQ people in gaming far surpasses that of the general population, according to Gallup's 2022 survey. Although Gallup only surveyed respondents over the age of 18, our survey sample was people 13 to 55 years old, they conservatively estimate that 7.2% of American adults are not cisgender, slur, or heterosexual. Similar to Gallup's most recent data indicate that Gen Z adults had the highest percentage of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender respondents over 18 at 20%. So they're saying, so look, this goes back to 28%, 23 to, and by the way, 5% is a very big range here. Between 23 and 28% under the age of 35 saying that they are LGBTQ, right? This is one of those things where you like, and I've said this many, many times before. Like I was at an event 2 weeks ago at MegaCon. One out of 4 were not LGBTQ. I was at an event a month ago in Waco, Texas. 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4 was not LGBTQ, right? You see this stuff, and it's totally skewed. This is not. There's no way this is real life. This is propaganda skewed. And then what happened is this propaganda is put out to these, to EA, to Activision, to video game companies, and they say, "Look, here's your audience," and it's a fucking, it's a farce. Like it's not true. Anybody who has been to these conventions, anybody who has been in the gaming space knows this is not accurate. It's insane. It's insane. If you've been to a, like, I would say golly, I don't know of a place where outside of like a gay bar where 1 out of 5 people, 1 out of 4 people is LGBTQ. Like I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.
Yeah. The actual number, I think if we're being generous for the United States, I think it's worldwide. I don't know if it's worldwide or if it's just the United States, but is actually like being generous, maybe 4% of the population is within that community. And of that, a lot of them play video games, which is, a lot of them, and you see the comments, it's mostly probably in California, but we've been to gaming conventions. Right, we've been
coast to coast.
Been to fan conventions.
Yes,
and yes, plenty of every walk of life.
Yes,
encircles those places.
Awesome, great, love it.
Right,
do you?
And everybody there is welcome to each other. As we can all talk to each other. Nobody really knows, like, or cares whether or not anyone else is part of that community. We're all geeks. We're all nerds. We're all gamers. Doesn't matter, right? So if they make some games that are specifically catered to a specific audience, let it be. But if it doesn't sell, you can't sit there and try and say, you see, you have to try to make more of that in order to try to get more people interested in that. It's like, if it's not selling, that's the other question is like, are the games that they're talking about within that list that have all that content, are those games selling?
I think that, people will take what we're talking about and they'll say, well, that's really homophobic or transphobic of you. I want to be really clear. Nobody gives a shit if you suck a dick. Nobody cares if you think you're a boy or a girl or a goat. You may be fucking weird, which you are, and you probably have some mental issues, which you probably do, but nobody cares. You're all, you want to play games, you want to go to, awesome, fucking A, that's great. The problem is that when you start bending the knee and saying, yeah, well, we're going to create for this for, why do you think the numbers rose from 10 to 17% over 4 years? Why? Because people were lonely. They're locked in their room. They're looking for acceptance. They're looking for something, a group to join. And when they have an opportunity to be joined, when they have an opportunity to join something, people say, "Oh, you're welcome here." Then they say, "Oh, well, I guess I am." The numbers almost doubled in 3.5 years. What? Does that make sense to anybody? It makes no sense. Zero.
Just propaganda. An agenda, and like you said, people.
It's designed so that they can say because remember that Hollywood wants to make it 50% of all movies, TV shows, right? They want to make that 50%. So they're trying to push the narrative that needs to be a higher number. That's really what they're going for. They want it to be a much higher number than it already is, not realizing that you need to make games for general audiences, and if someone doesn't like a game, it isn't necessary that has that content in it, then so be it. Then those people just don't like it, so I say like that, but there is people are saying that there is people say that there's a social contagion to it, which is what you were alluding to, Greg.
A cult, a social contagion, social media shoving this shit down kids' throats. Like, do you think that there's a coincidence that 28% of gamers under the age of 35, this TikTok generation, do you think there's a coincidence in that? Right? Look through it's insane. It's insane. It's frustrating to see this. Like, it's just blatant propaganda, and it's propaganda that will be literally implemented into all of your games and all of your entertainment because of stuff like this, right? But once again, 17% cater to the 83% that are buying your games, that don't necessarily want this stuff, the shit that's shoved down their throat. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this stuff. It's insane. It's frustrating to see this, and that's exactly why this show exists, because you guys are fucking normal, right? And you guys see what we see. That this is not real life. This is bullshit. Like, this is literally, these people are paid to shovel this shit down your throat. And it's crazy. And
there's a narcissism to it too. There's a complete narcissism to it. Mm-mm. Because it's like do you see, now we put it in there. We see, now we put it in there. Now we put it, not just making a game that just happens to have it. Like, what was if you play any RPG, like I guess I think I don't know if you can do it with The Witcher, but I know that there's some games that, like, you can do whatever with anybody in the game.
I like Baldur's Gate, right? You, as a druid or something like that, you can fuck a bear because you're a druid.
Or what's the name of that game? Any of the Elder Scrolls games, right? Or Fable, if you really wanted to. If you don't want to be part of that, you don't become part of that. Like, you do with what you want with an RPG like that in a game. But if people don't necessarily want that in their game, they don't want it in their game. It's just a fact of life. So, what is it? No one is part of a whoops, we target the wrong people. Mm-hmm. No, it's very intentional. Yeah, and that's the thing, because there is a certain targeting of, because they are trying to target a specific audience. And the 83% of there's a large percentage, I think, of the 83% that don't want it in their games. Very large percentage. So
yeah. And
when they lose sales, you have to wonder why.
What people want are good stories. They want fun gameplay. They want to escape. They want to escape. That's why you play video games, to escape. You escape to escape real life for 15, 20, 30 minutes, 2 hours, however long you're going to play it, because you don't want to think about all the shit that's happening in real life. That's why we play games. It's fun, So that's just like,
and look, like I said before, we even said it. There are plenty of people who are out there who are all part of different communities, and they're all welcome to play video games as much as anybody else.
Yes.
No one is saying that they can't. The biggest issue is that, and people use the term gatekeeping into our hobbies. It's like this. It's like, you enjoy something, you want it to remain the way that it was and the way that it is, and anybody is allowed to come in and enjoy it. However, when you come in, these are the rules of the universe that you're in. Don't change the rules of the universe. You're allowed in, but we're not catering this to you. If you enjoy this needs to remain as it is so that we both can enjoy it. And that should be the way that it always should be. So that's just, a generalization, but yeah.
Right. And real quick, I digging into this a little bit more. Here's their methodology real quick. Nielsen fielded a 10-minute survey amongst active PC and console gamers in the United States with a boost sample of LGBTQ gamers. Like, what does that even mean? Like,
that means that they literally went to a community that is mostly of that community, You know,
How is that even fucking fair? Like, once
Yeah.
again, this is propaganda. It's that's the only way to describe this.
yeah.
To help GLAAD better understand the relationship between LGBTQ communities and the game industry in terms of representation, harassment, and overall attitudes and behavior. That is like, that's this right here, the boost sample. It's slanted, it's biased, which in turn makes the study void.
Yeah.
It's not real life.
These people never did like those science experiments in like college and high school, middle school. We have the control group and the variable group and all that. They didn't do that because they don't understand how surveys work.
It's crazy to think about, man. It's just crazy. Real quick, I'm just looking. What is a boost sample in marketing research studies, and when should you use one? Okay, this is, and I want to be really clear. Okay, I just got this website here. Let's consider an example. I'm going to pull this up just so we can see this because I want to be. I'm pretty sure you're right, but I want to make sure this is from the Canadian Viewpoint Inc. What is a booster sample in marketing research studies, and when should you use one? Additional interviews involving blah 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 blah. Let's consider an example. Let's say, Blabs, will you read this? I'm going to put this in the private chat just for clarity, as just in the interest of time. Just kind of get a little clarity on that real quick while we move on. I'm going to read a few super chats real fast. Colt came in. Thank you very much. Says, by the way, we're opening all. If you guys want to throw out your gamer pickup lines throughout the show, this is a great time to do it. Colt says, "Call me Link because you leave me speechless." Nice. "You must be Kirby because you want to swallow me whole." Gross. "Call me Star Fox because I'm gonna barrel roll all over, or roll you over." Oh god. He came back, says, "I bet GLAAD's favorite Nintendo game is Smash Bros." Nice. Colt says, "Am I an extreme phobe for rolling my eyes seeing the pandering, shoehorn, quote, inclusive characters added just for the sake of, quote, inclusion?" Well, yes, GK, you're a giant phobe. That's what I'm saying, GK. Absolutely.
It's crazy, because I'm trying to approach it from a subjective, kind of like looking at it from a reasonable viewpoint. And that's really where I think we're all trying to wrap our head around. Like they're giving us this survey and they're going to use this data and information in order to push the type of content they want to put in video games moving forward, not realizing like how do we look at this and say, does this really work? Is this really going to work? And is it going to actually make good games? Is it going to make the video games better? Or is it only going to make the video games appeal to people who already don't play video games? Is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to appeal to people who don't play video games or make fun of nerds who enjoy their nerdy stuff.
Right. It'd be interesting to see if they were to do a, maybe that's another perspective we should have. We should do a study and we should get 1,500 people in a boost sample to see how many people like pandering in video games, just to kind of and send that to these game companies.
So
There you go.
I read the article about when to start collecting boost sample, and the very first thing they say is client desires.
Right.
So automatically it's skewered. Other times would be the original revised quote, study feasibility, and timing requirements, because if you can get the answer, you're going to go to that area and you're going to get results really quick as compared to doing a large, unbiased survey.
So they're
Basically,
literally
it's just
saying
for-
it's a skewed survey.
Yeah, straight
They're
off the bat.
literally saying it's a skewed survey by
Client
saying it's
desires.
yeah.
And what do you think GLAAD desires? Yeah, of course. That it's really crazy, man. Thanks for pointing that out, Roddy. That's just nuts. Alex says, clarification: did they say 70% of all gamers, but only survey in the U.S.? Correct.
Yeah, it
Correct.
doesn't make any sense. It's a pointless survey.
Uriah says, just put a chick in it and make it lame. Thanks, Uriah. Lucas says, it's all by design, guys. As much as I love the graphics of AAA games, I don't love the baggage. That's why retro games matter for me these days. Lucas, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Vince McMahon came in with the $5 direct donation. Thank you so much.
You gotta read
Vince.
it like that.
Uh-oh.
Are you number one? Because I'd like to be your number two. Thanks, Vince.
Like shitting on the girl? Is that what it is?
Yes, that's the idea.
Ugh.
Shiny King came in with a $5 direct donation. Says, "What are urinalists and game devs? What are the urinalists and game devs are always forgetting about that is that there's a world of difference between simply being homosexual and being a part of the Rainbow Reich or Alphabet Mafia, right? 100%. I know a ton. When I say I know a ton of gay people, I know a ton of gay people, and like none of them want to be a part of the insanity and all the propaganda bullshit. They just leave me alone. Just let me do what I want to be. Let me be who I want to be. Fucking A, love it, do it. You know, you're 100% right, Shiny King. And McFly says, please look up all the. Okay, we'll do that in our spare time.
Looked
McFly.
up. Just saying.
Because it's shareable.
It's just a quote to read.
Okay.
I can read like the first sentence of it. Of
Sure.
all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It would better to live under robber barons than under omnipotent moral busybodies. There you go.
Omnipotent busybodies.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Dude came in with the $1. Says, "You spoony bard." Thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a Final Fantasy IV quote. And you know what's funny about that? Everybody attributes Final Fantasy IV to Ted Woolsey, but he didn't translate Final Fantasy IV into English. People have misquoted thinking that "You Spoony Bard" was something that he wrote, but no, he worked on Final Fantasy VI. So
Kratos says, "So are more gay people playing games, or are quote modern audience quote games making the gamers gay?" I don't. The whole like. The whole, I don't know how people, the whole like making people gay thing. That's not for me to decide, right? I think that, you have your preference or whatever. But I do think that there is influence when it comes to social media of like the acceptance of things. Kids in particular are very malleable. They can be pushed and directed in certain directions to push certain things. That is why every company in the world wants to target a younger generation, so they have them as a lifetime product.
Yep.
So they can sell products to them forever, a lifetime customer. There's a reason for that, y'all. Like, we're the different ones. We don't want kids watching our stuff. Our audience is 25 plus male, and we're very aware of that with the show. So that's crazy, man. Crazy. Emperor Nero came in and says, "Did you know the only reason why we have obscenity laws on the federal level is due to a guy with an Oedipus complex? Anthony Comstock loved his mother so much he saw other women as filthy harlots and degenerates. Say no to criminalizing smut." Okay, Emperor Nero, thank you very much. Oof. Rob came in and says, "It's not inclusion, it's coercion." Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you, man. Interesting for sure.
There is for some of it, there is definitely a social contagion to it. There's like a portion of it. For some, it could be biological,
Yeah.
And
for
I
sure.
think that, and like you said, we're not here to judge those people. I may be a Bible believing Christian, but I'm not going to judge those people with all forms of hatred, just because of what they do privately. I mean, there is a level to it. But there does come a point where, do you want everything in entertainment to just be for you? Because that is a narcissism that we're talking about. Is that, do we make video games that are just cool and everybody wants to play? Or do you make video games that are just specific to this particular audience? And if it's only to that audience, then you guys are probably going to gatekeep that and try to keep that going the way that you want it, aren't you? Well, then fine. But if it doesn't sell, no one's going to, there it is. Like the Department of Transportation says, hate the sin, right? So we don't hate the people. Right. And, if definitely pray for the people and that they stop partaking the sin, but don't hate on them. Like, there's no hatred involved in us. Like you said, you have friends that are, walk away from different points of life. So but they play video games too. And we could all play video games together.
Right.
You know, I've played video games with all different types of people. So
100%. Like games bring people together. They shouldn't separate people.
Exactly.
You know?
They should be bringing people together. More. If the idea is that if we can all play games together, you know, I mean, you play Monopoly. You're talking about a board game. You play Monopoly with family, which can break up families, by the way. Right. Or you play Street Fighter with a bunch of friends. Everybody doesn't matter to, you know, who and what they do. Am I going to? So just.
Just a second.
Okay.
Rod Al came in, says, just wanted to throw this in since you mentioned being at MegaCon in Orlando. I'm in Florida, Orlando, and Orlando's called the San Francisco of the East Coast, but nowhere near a quarter of the people are alphabet even there, right?
Yep.
And Disney has a reputation for there's a lot of gay people who work at Disney, like a lot of gay people who work at Disney. Now, they have 55,000 people who work at Disney. And like, it's not even 1 out of 10, not even close, right? Certainly not 1 out of 4, certainly not 1 out of 5. But, you know, like, I don't even know. Like, how would I even know? How would I even know? Because I like, unless you're wearing, like,
The pronoun
unless you're
badge.
wearing, yeah, exactly, some sort of badge, like, you know, it's just, it's crazy. It's just insane. The Garth Knight returns.
There we go. Garth
Off
from
topic.
Knight Rider.
Yeah. It says, off topic, Rod, are you going to TFCon, I guess Transformer Con, LA, for the G1 cast reunion? I think this will be my last one for a while, burnt out. Plus, I'm not a fan of the direction the IP is going nowadays.
I would absolutely love to make it to LA, but unfortunately I can't make it out there. You know, would have to pay for plane ticket, hotel room, you know, to get to, because I live in Florida, so that's out in LA. So they had TFCon in October in Orlando, and I went to that one, had a lot of fun, talked with other Transformers YouTubers while I was there. Actually had a panel, you know, and that was, you know, quite a bit of fun too. Went to BotCon in New Jersey, but I was able to stay at my sister's house. So, but
right.
Yeah, live in the tents. It's free. Yeah,
right.
Sure. The poop on the street.
Right.
With all the needles and stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
But I would love to, because it, like, all the Transformers cast are going to happen to be there. So it's like, man, it sucks.
Let's do one more quick hit before we go. We just did that topic, and it's just infuriating to talk about. And
Sure.
I really do feel like maybe we should do some, you know, provide. I feel like all of these, like, there's definitely propaganda around these, all these studies and everything that's being put out there, and I feel like it should be given right back. Like, we should absolutely there should be a company that is the opposite of Sweet Baby Inc. that goes in and teaches people about masculinity in their games. Be like, here is. Like, this is what gamers want. They want fucking Rastin. They want Conan. They want fucking badass. They want Kratos from God of War. You know, that's what gamers want. They want that, right? Instead of, you know, they want whatever. And then provide some other polling data of more than 1,500 gamers and do that. It's crazy. Let's go to this one last story over here.
Duke Nukem.
Who has Amazon Prime?
More Duke Nukem games.
Yes, right. Okay, who has Amazon Prime? Everybody have Amazon Prime? Most people do.
I have it until the next 4 days.
Okay. A quick reminder that if you do have Amazon Prime, you could, but while we're not streaming on Twitch, you can still give us your Twitch Bezos bucks by going over to twitch.tv/DutterandCraig and using your Amazon Prime on our channel. We're not streaming there, but we'll take your $2.50 for free. It's cost you nothing. But anyways, if you have Amazon Prime, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Amazon is now being sued after raising its Prime prices. The lawyer says it's deceptive to charge $3 extra after advertising Prime was commercial free for years. because subscribers must now pay extra for something that they already paid for. So they raised their price, and people are pissed because. And I've noticed this. I have Amazon Prime. I was watching a movie, and usually it just turns on, and I got a minute worth of commercials
Yeah.
before I started
long.
watching it. I was like, "What the hell is that about?"
They're trying to get more people to pay more money. They just want more money. Period.
Yes.
Now, isn't it true that like Disney Plus has ads now
Yes.
too, right? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So I watched this YouTuber the other day in Italy, and he's kind of like likes Disney, he's not all aware. Like, he was commenting on Percy Jackson, didn't even comment on the race swaps, but he was totally shitting all over Disney and like their subscription pages too. So it doesn't surprise me that Amazon's doing it too.
Well, Disney Plus currently right now, in order to save itself from total destruction,
Oh yeah, because
and that, I have Spectrum, and Spectrum made a deal with Disney that every Spectrum subscriber is now has access to Disney Plus, the ad tiered version.
Yeah.
So quite literally, they were able to inflate their numbers by saying, "You see, we have so many, subscribers, but Amazon, on the other hand, is just like another big corporation that bought everything, and now they're trying to get more money out of you now that they own everything." So that's basically what's going on.
And it's also funny because a couple weeks ago, Amazon announced that they had layoffs for the health department because apparently they want to make their own pharmacy, and so all those people got fired. They got laid off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm looking through the lawsuit right now, and this is a class action lawsuit, which I'm going to see if I can actually get up on this, because if we know anything about class action lawsuits, most often you get like $6 out of it, but you could be like Melanie Mack and get 18 grand.
Yeah.
She got 18,000 from it.
I'd like 18 grand right now. It would get me out of debt. get my bills paid.
So this is filed in California, and it's built around the idea of like fake advertising. But I'm just glancing it on the screen over here. So I'm very interested to see how I can. I may reach out. To be like, hey, how can I get in on this? Because I'm interested. Because in the event of like a class action lawsuit, I believe they have to provide a list of all the providers, maybe their home addresses or something, and then you can sit, because you get these things in the mail that say there's a class action lawsuit if you like to be a part of it. I don't know, maybe there's something there, but
I think it was for like a certain window of time that you had to have Amazon Prime.
Well, I've had it the entire time.
Then there you go. You definitely are in.
I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna see what I can
I
do.
want my 6 Bezos bucks.
Should I call him now? Should I call him right now while we're on the phone?
You might have to give important information out.
No, I'm just maybe I could call them literally right now while we're live and say, hey, we're live right now. Just kidding. I think it'd be fun. Should I do it? What do you think? What do you think, Robbie?
Do it.
Let's go for it. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's see what happens here. I have their phone number pulled up. Let's see what we got. This is the law firm of Dover and Lunar LLP. Dovel and Lunar. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to call them right now. Put them on speaker. Let's see.
This is Gabby speaking. How can I help you?
Hi, Gabby. My name is Craig. I'm recording a podcast right now. And we're talking about the class action lawsuit against Amazon. I was hoping to get some information about this. This is a class action lawsuit?
Yes, let me see if an attorney is available to speak with you. You said your name was Craig?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any other information, like what the podcast source is or anything else I can tell the attorney on the case?
Yeah, I just want to get some information. We have an audience that's very curious about this case, and specifically how to be involved in it. And just kind of get some basic high-level questions about how people can be involved if they are interested and they are Amazon Prime users.
Okay. Okay, let me see if someone's available. If they're not, I can also send you a copy of the complaint via email, and that can probably answer most of the questions you might have about the case.
Well, so I had the complaint pulled up right now. I'm actually looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm very aware of it. But as far as if somebody wanted to be involved in the class action, can they? This is open to anybody who is a customer of Amazon Prime. Is that right?
Let me just check and see if an attorney on the case is available to speak with you.
Thanks.
I can place you on a brief hold if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
She totally doesn't want to give you the wrong information, or else she gets in
Right,
trouble.
100%. Yeah, she's doing what she needs to do.
Yeah.
She's just the receptionist. So, yes. Okay. If you guys have questions that you need me to ask, put it. Labs, keep an eye like what the criteria is, right? Things like that.
Yep.
So, if
Do you
Labs,
have
put
to be
those in
an
the private
Amazon
chat.
Prime member from X time to X time? Did you buy anything?
Right. By the way, you love this music?
Yeah, we might get copyright from that. I
Nah,
hope not.
it's classic. I'll pull it away just in case. We'll see. They'll probably say, "Hey, can we call you?" Oh, they'll probably say, "Can we call you back?"
Blair wants to know what's she wearing.
I'm not going to ask that. So, anyways,
Hi, Craig. So unfortunately, Kristen is not available at the moment, but I can transfer you to her voicemail. Other than that, I'm happy to point you to our website, and we have a case intake form, and people are welcome to fill that out with their information, and we can get in touch if they are a part of the case.
okay. Some real high level questions though. While I have you, is this? Yeah, if you can first off, your website is what?
It's Dovel, DOVEL.com.
Oh, just Dovel.com. Okay. And you can find information about this on Dovel.com. Are there any, the criteria for this? Do you have to be in the United States? Is this international? How, and what's the criteria to be a part of it? Because I'm on your website right now. Yeah, I'm on your website right now. I don't see a direct link to this. Where would I find it on your website?
There's a contact us tab, and then there's a link to a case intake form, and people can put in their contact information and just say that they're contacting us about the Amazon case, and that would be the fastest way for us to get in touch with them. Okay.
Well, I will do that, and we'll kind of go from there. So, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
have a good day.
You too.
Okay. So a bunch of nothing, but I'll do this case intake this intake form, and I will let you guys know when I hear something. So.
Yep. So that was for the class action lawsuit. That's what people are asking. They're just pulling in now, and they're asking, what is this about? And it's this was the class action lawsuit. Craig actually called the attorney. So,
yes.
We basically kind of got to hear it live that he was, talking to the receptionist to try and find out more information. So,
right. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm literally going to fill this out. I'm going to, and I'll keep you guys updated. You heard it from her. You can go to dovel.com/client-intake-form and inquire about the Amazon Prime account if you are the lawsuit. I'm interested in it, man. That's right. Karen knows I'm doing that heavy lifting. That's what we do. We do it live. We're doing it live here. It's ridiculous.
Live in New York. It's Saturday night.
No.
I know the heavier topic that we talked about before. I know it led into the men thing, and I kind of just wanted to touch base on that. Was people get bullied for being for enjoying their hobbies, but don't let those hobbies that you enjoy stop you from enjoying it. I think that's basically what I wanted to. And yes, hello, Kara. I met you at MegaCon as well. It was great. But
yes,
yeah. So
it's funny. Grab says, Grabthar's hammer.
You put it on the back wall.
Absolutely, 100%. I'll put Amazon Prime right on the back wall, which will be great. Well, there you go. All right, let's get out of here, guys. That was a lot of stuff hit today. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to remind you guys, tomorrow it's our Super Bowl, right? We need you guys to be here for that. We're going to be live for 12 hours tomorrow. We're going to be doing a long-ass effing podcast tomorrow, going from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We are kicking off year 2 of Side Scrollers. I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to need your help. Okay, we got some big plans moving into 2024 in our second year. We got some big goals, and we're going to need you guys to be here for us. But you guys, we're not concerned about it. We got some fun things we're going to be sharing with you guys tomorrow. So with that said, I need you guys to go and subscribe over to Roddy's channel. You can find a link to it down in the description. We'll make sure we get that in the chat as well. Yeah, Blabs, you got anything before we roll out?
Follow me on YouTube. That's it.
Sounds good. Snake Master says, what time zone?
Central.
Same as always, 11 a.m. Central Time. So right now in Central Time Zone, it's 12:57 p.m. So we'll be starting in exactly 22 hours from now. So with that said, guys, have a great rest of your day. Roddy, appreciate you popping in today, my man.
Of course.
All right,
Anytime
cool.
anytime you ask us, I'm not a puppy dog. I saw that yesterday.
All right.
Where's Roddy? Come here, Roddy.
Come here, Roddy. Come on over, Roddy.
I know, right? Bring more beers right now. See that?
All right, let's get out of here, guys. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out and spread the good word of all the good stuff we have going on over here. Appreciate you guys. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys tomorrow for the 12-hour Year 2 kickoff. It's Side Scrollers Day, baby.
Hadouken.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Fatality.